Yeah.
How we doing?
How we doing? That's how we do it. That's how we
Yeah,
kick it off, baby.
great stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Nothing like a bit of Bruce Lee at the start.
Oh, yeah. It gets everybody pumped up. That's right. That's
Yeah.
right. Matt, brother, how are you, my friend?
I'm
Welcome to the
I'm
show.
I'm great, Preston. Yeah, how are you? I'm glad we can finally do this. Been looking forward to it.
Well, you got my check. You got my
I
check for
did.
$10,000. You know, he went easy on me. He's like, 10 grand, get you on the show. Hey, but
That's
it's good
why I'm
seeing
here.
you, brother. You're out there in Canada right now.
I'm in Canada. Yeah, I'm actually in Edmonton, in Calgary. So it's for my cousin's wedding. So
Yeah.
first time in Canada. It's nice to be over this side of the water.
Yeah.
So
What's
I'm
your cousin's
enjoying it.
name? What's his name?
Jason,
Jason.
Jason, say
Congratulations, my friend. Congrats.
he'll
There you go.
appreciate that.
Oh, yeah, awesome, man. But it's great to have you
Right.
here.
Yeah,
And we didn't get a chance to get together a while ago, but
we
a
did.
while ago we were going to discuss something amazing, badass, and I'm trying to pull it up here. Hold on one second. Here we go. What? Combat Zone, brother. That's right,
Combat
man.
Zone. Yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
congratulations on directing this. And this is award-winning fighting short. That's a lot of fun. Big shout out to Colin, Ryan, Daniel, and of course, Mark Strange. Yeah, man, that was so much fun
Yeah.
watching that
Thank
and
you.
premiering
Yeah.
that here on the channel. Still winning
Yeah.
awards. What's going on?
Yes. It's doing well. I think it was such an interesting concept. It was a simple concept, but something that people just think is just a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun to shoot.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun to watch. But also from a creative and martial arts standpoint, it was quite interesting seeing these three guys having to fight each other and using all the instruments around the gym,
Yeah.
picking up weights, um, you know, uh, all kinds, anything that's around them. So, for me, it was very enjoyable to do it, and all the guys were great to work with, which is, what more can you ask?
I just want to know, are we going to get a Combat Zone 2, baby? Is that what we're going to get?
Well,
Maybe?
quite possibly. We're in talks to see how we can make that possible in the best way we can. So
Yeah.
fingers crossed. Fingers
Fingers
crossed.
crossed. That's right. Yeah. Hashtag it. Get it out there, guys. Combat Zone 2, Electric Boogaloo. You got to add Electric Boogaloo to it, though. Really quick for everybody watching right now. Thank you for tuning in, guys. You guys are awesome. Really quick, Matt, let everybody know that's watching who you are and what you do.
Well, my name's Matt Rutledge. I'm a film director, director of photography, cameraman, ex-stuntman. I started off as a stuntman. I worked on the Medallion with Jackie Chan in Thailand many, many moons ago. And around that time, I made my own production in the UK, which was called Mersey Cop, also known as Fist of Justice for international audiences. And that sold to numerous territories. And from that showreel, it obviously got me more work doing stunts, acting in films. I did a Thai movie called Crazy in Love many, many years ago. And since then, I've been working as a cameraman, as a director on short films. I did the short film Fixer. I did a short film called Manipulation, and both of which led to me doing a feature film about 3-4 years ago called Tribal Get Out Alive. So that's where I'm at. I love martial arts. I love making martial arts films. I love working with great people who are very enthusiastic about making martial arts films. And hopefully to continue down that road.
Yes, and you're good at what you do, man. Actually, you're great
Thank you.
you're great at what you do. I enjoyed Tribal, man. The action in that was legit. That was
Thank
great.
you.
That was great.
Appreciate that.
And I was gonna ask, because I've seen through a lot of your projects on IMDb, I see a little horror spliced in there a little bit. So I'm like, oh shit, Matt, because we celebrate not just martial arts action here, we celebrate horror too. So I was like, I gotta ask Matt, maybe in the future we're gonna return to some martial arts action horror, maybe.
I think quite possibly there's something coming up I can't really say too much about, but hopefully it will happen in the near future. And it's quite a lot of gore in that, quite a lot of strong, heavy. Watch this space. I think that's what they usually say. So fingers crossed we can get that over the line, and
Yes.
something to look forward to.
Show the fucking blood.
That was
What's
perfect
Rick?
timing.
What's Rick saying?
Show the fucking blood. I had to segue it in there perfectly. Yeah. But yeah, now I'm really excited for that future project. Maybe you can tell
Thanks.
tell Preston, tell me offline, give me the scoop.
Okay.
I will be quiet. But yeah, man, it's great to have you here. And oh, holy shit!
Thank
Speaking
you.
of Colin, we got here.
Yeah.
He is. What's up, Colin? Good to see you, brother. Yeah, good to see you. Throwing it up.
He's up way past his bedtime, maybe in the UK.
I appreciate the dedication, brother. I appreciate it. Hanging
Appreciate
out.
it.
Yeah. Got
Nice to
Elena
see you,
Park
man.
here saying hello, Preston and Matt. There we go. All
Hi,
right.
Elena.
Yeah.
Thanks for the message.
Yeah. We are live. Jet Tiger. There you go. Hello, Samurai and Matt. Yes. Awesome, man.
Hi,
Awesome.
Jet.
Yeah. So again, congrats on your achievements and future achievements. I know you're going to get into it, but I got to ask, brother, where can we watch Mersey Cop, son? Let's go.
Right. Well, I have to dig that out of a closet somewhere and somehow get it remastered into some kind of watchable format to get it out. I have been thinking about trying to get it put on YouTube so everyone can watch it, because I have had quite a lot of messages of people who do want to see it. And it's
maybe,
don't get me wrong.
Tubi. Maybe Tubi.
Yeah, to be honest, it'd be nice to get it out there. What was interesting about that is I literally had nothing at that time. I had no money. I had a good friend of mine, Martin Holland, who was a director at the time, and I teamed up with him. He had his own little DV camera. We managed to persuade a local company to give us a microphone, one of the ones they weren't using, and we had some basic DIY lights you could buy from a hardware store. And that's how we made that film.
That's it.
So it was real massive learning curve. Obviously, it was great for me to actually, at that one I was acting, and obviously acting, directing, co-script writing.
Right.
Very, very hard to do. I prefer to just do one rather than all. So, but it's what started me off. From that show reel I got on the Jackie Chan film, and things moved a lot more positively and forwards.
That is awesome. Well, hopefully we get fingers crossed, we get to see that on YouTube for sure. That'd be great, man. That'd be great. But hey, I would love to premiere it here on the channel. We'd show the whole movie here, man. Let's do it.
Okay, that's definitely great idea.
Yeah, let's do it. But you've been a part of a couple of heavy hitters here. Some of my favorites. I mean, what? Avengement, Accident Man. I mean, these are some favorites here, man. How was it working with Scott over the years, and how was it working with Jackie Chan?
Well, first of all, obviously Jackie Chan, just great. I don't have a single negative word to say about him. Only good. Just such a bundle of energy on set. It was great to see him work. Great to see him do some of the stunts, because I think when I was an extra at first in Ireland, so I saw him do the stunt where he jumps on the car. There was a bit where he slides down the lamppost. So I was just basically in awe of him then. And I got talking to Brad Allen on the set of that when I was on the film. Another unbelievable martial artist.
Rest in power.
And absolutely, what an amazing talent. And basically, after that, the stunts were filmed around 6 months later after that shoot, and that they were dividing it between Hong Kong and Thailand. I ended up going into the Thai shoot, so I was there for around 6 weeks, and every day was a learning curve. I mean, not only was it Jackie, you had Samo on there as well, and to be on a film with both Jackie and Samo was just incredible. Seeing the two of them work together, and phenomenal work ethic. Yeah, incredibly talented, and quite a few times, obviously, you saw Jackie Chan obviously on set and at the dinner table, sometimes at night at the hotel. So I just tried to enjoy the experience. It was the first major film for me. And on that film, obviously, I met Scott, who I knew a bit before that, but I obviously met him for the first time on the Medallion. really good friends for many years, and calling me the night before to do a fight scene in Accident Man in the bar. So
Wow.
yeah, but
But you're a
obviously,
professional. You made it
yeah,
happen.
did the call to arms,
That's right.
turned up, and yeah, it was great
Yeah.
fun. Obviously, just I'm in the bar scene, which obviously people have seen in the film, but it was nice to be part of such a great movie.
Oh
And
yeah.
yeah, and obviously Avengement, you know, a few years after that, it was great to work with him, and and Jesse again on that. They're a great team when they work together.
I would
So
love to see you
yeah,
in the next, maybe in a future Jesse V. Johnson picture, maybe team up with him in the
yeah.
future. That'd be great.
Thank you. Yeah, it'd be great. Sometimes it's hard to put maybe two directors together and things like that, but definitely, he's a
Yeah.
wonderful guy. Gave me some great advice, and
Yeah.
yeah, having a great career.
Copy that. Copy that. Well, what got you into martial arts? And then
Well,
what got you into filmmaking? You can answer that afterwards.
yeah, well, martial arts, the usual story, getting picked on at school. People didn't like me.
Wow,
Changed schools.
that's the story. Like
No,
every time I ask that,
yeah.
that's the story.
Yeah, change
Yeah,
schools, and that's never good.
yeah, right.
In the UK, when obviously they call it junior school, and then
Yeah,
it's called high school in the States, and obviously in the UK, it's called secondary school. People there don't like me, get picked on, and then started, martial arts. But I watched Enter the Dragon, life changing for me.
yeah,
Watching the film, my dad had a recording of it on VHS. Watched it, just kept on watching it. I must have broken the video recorder, with watching it so many times.
yeah,
But it just gave me that inspiration and the get up and go to actually join a club. At that time, I did Taekwondo. Later on, I did try and do Wing Chun. So I mixed up, obviously, Taekwondo with Wing Chun. It was
yeah,
whatever school was near me at the time, because I couldn't drive. I was reliant on my dad to take me to these places.
yeah.
But that's how it all started. It started with Enter the Dragon.
That seems to be that's always the story. It's
Yeah,
always Bruce Lee. That
yeah,
gets people. That's their
yeah,
story. But that's pretty cool,
yeah.
man.
Thanks a
Yeah.
lot.
And but the
Thank you.
filmmaking bug though, the filmmaking bug. What
Right.
when did you get bit?
Well, they joined together really. So I was actually studying to do A levels. I was studying to do English and bizarrely human biology, and then somehow I did a career U-turn and decided I wanted to work in the media industry. I wanted to be like an actor, director, whatever I could, be involved in creatively. And I started acting in my own little martial arts short films on the degree course that I was doing, and making them to try and get me through the course. So I got through my college course by making short martial arts films as well as dramas. And then I got through my degree course by doing a mini Bruce Lee documentary at the time that was
Yeah,
in around 1998.
yeah.
And
The seed was planted
the
there.
seed was there,
Yeah.
and making a short martial arts film, a half-hour martial arts film. And that's how I got through my degree. So literally, I obviously took the inspiration from watching the martial arts films, obviously Bruce Lee, Jackie Chan, Van Damme. So many people were my inspirations in those days, in the late 80s, early 90s.
Copy that. Well, speaking of Jackie Chan, I've enjoyed
Yeah.
you and Scott Atkins' little action reaction commentary on Armor of God. That was a lot of fun.
Thank
Having
you.
you guys break
Thanks.
down the fight with the monks. Classic fight,
Thanks a
man.
lot.
It was so
Thank
good,
you.
so good. But
Yeah.
we have fun here on Samurai Guy's channel. So I'm sorry, Matt. I'm sorry, but I have to show this. Enjoy this, guys. Yes, yes, yes. We had to go
Blast,
back.
blast from the past. Oh my
Yeah,
gosh!
yeah.
Wow, wow.
Yeah,
That was the days. Yeah,
yeah,
gosh.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I saw you showing off a little bit with the leg work there, man. I saw that. You know what that
yeah,
reminded me of? It was a great short. I was laughing. I was having fun with it. I had to share it with the audience watching, but it was reminding me of Dreadnought.
yeah. Well,
Yeah,
Dreadnought was one of my favorite films growing up, and yes, I think there was you're absolutely spot on. There was a massive hint of Dreadnought there, particularly with the sponge getting split. Yeah,
yeah,
I'm a massive fan of that movie. I am of a lot of the 1970s kung fu films, Shaw's, Golden
yeah.
Harvest. So yeah,
Do you have any particular
great.
favorites from
Well,
Golden Harvest and Shaw's?
you've named one there. I mean, Dreadnought. Oh gosh, so many.
I know.
Magnificent Butcher,
Oh,
Prodigal Son, Warriors 2, One Arm Boxer.
yeah, yeah,
The list goes on. Broken Oath.
yes.
There's
Too
just
many.
yeah, I could
Yeah, too
keep
many.
going.
Yeah. You know what always cracked
Yeah,
me up was when Batman Forever was coming out on VHS, there used to be like it's so weird. It was like people would advertise like, hey, Joel Schumacher got inspired by the Kung Fu movie Dreadnought for Batman Forever.
yeah,
And I'm
yeah.
like, well, he only took the it's like, it would have been cool if he used some of the martial arts from Dreadnought for Batman Forever. That would have been amazing. But just the little laundry scene with Robin, but it would have been
It's
cool.
still a nod. It's still a
Yeah,
nod,
yeah,
and what I found interesting about that, I don't know what you think and the viewers think, is that at that time Hong Kong films were not really breaking into the West as much,
right.
and that was like people would have seen that scene, people would have talked about that scene and said, "Hey, I've seen that from an old Hong Kong movie," and then they'll go out and try and find that movie,
Yeah,
and suddenly years after that, you've got this huge resurgence of Hong Kong cinema breaking through into the West.
yeah,
With Jet Li, with Donnie Yen, who's still going
yeah.
fantastically well. But obviously, yeah. So it's great that they obviously were influenced so much by these Hong Kong movies.
Oh yeah. I mean, what George Lucas? I think it was
Mm,
Moon Warriors is the film he
yeah,
saw where he saw the type of fight choreography, and he
yeah,
was like, "I want that for Star Wars for Episode
yeah.
One." Boom! There
Yes.
you go, Darth Maul fight. There you go.
Yeah, it's a
Uh,
beautiful film. That, by the way, Moon Warriors is
yeah,
yeah one of the best.
that needs a
Yeah,
Blu-ray remaster. I don't know if that's
it
been
does.
remastered on Blu-ray. So,
I'm not
Eureka,
sure.
88 Films. Let's go. And
Yeah,
yeah, I enjoy your commentary too, man. Your audio commentaries are great.
thank you.
And
Thanks a lot.
speaking of audio commentaries and more and special features, make sure if you haven't bought it already, if you're looking for it, make sure you get the holy grail of everything Bruce Lee related. Get that 4K or Blu-ray box set from Arrow Video. Go out there and get it. It's the holy grail. And yeah, there's something special that's featured in that box set that you can only watch there. And we're talking about what? The Big Boss Return to Thailand documentary, baby. That is right. And this was phenomenal, Matt.
Thank you.
Phenomenal. Yes. I
Thank you.
enjoyed this so much. So, like I said, guys, as of right now, if you want to watch it, you can only watch it in that Bruce Lee Arrow video
Yeah.
box set. And so, how was the premiere in Fighting Spirit Film Festival?
It went great. Yeah, we had a fantastic turnout. It was great to see it on the big screen. Obviously all that hard work in getting it made. But it was an independent film. It was independent. I made it for Arrow, with obviously supervision from James Flower, who was one of the executive producers from Arrow Video. But basically, Brandon Bentley was instrumental in introducing me to James, and Brandon obviously helped co-produce this documentary. He was very helpful. Also, a good friend of mine, Will Blake from England, who helped me co-write it. But when I went to Thailand the first time, I just went out there cold. I just started filming. I got a couple of interviews. I started putting it together, but I didn't have an actual structure of the story that I wanted to do because I didn't know what to expect when I got there. And then obviously I went back a second time I connected with a local Bruce Lee historian there called Eric Klein, and then he helped me get a few more additional interviews and extra bits and pieces, and the whole thing just started coming together. And from that, we scripted it. So that's basically how it all ended up getting put together.
And
But
there he is. Yes. So make sure you guys follow
yeah,
him on Facebook there, Bruce Lee Fan Club Pak Chong.
yeah,
Make sure you follow that Facebook page for more
definitely.
Bruce Lee
Yeah.
action and excitement. But yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, no, it was great experience. I always loved Thailand. It's very close to my heart because I lived there for several years, around 20 years ago. Obviously,
Yeah.
after the medallion, I ended up staying there for several years, working in the media industry over there. So it's a place very close to my heart. Always wanted to go back with a project, and this was a great project to do. And just so nice to see the locations looking so similar to what they did like
Yeah.
52 years ago.
Insane. Yeah.
Incredible. And it's worth anyone going out there to, obviously, after they watch this documentary, and hopefully it will give them the push to go to Thailand to see these locations for themselves and feel the energy that you feel when you actually go there, because it is like an energy.
Yeah.
You get caught up in it because you just think, wow, Bruce Lee did the end fight to the big boss at this location, and it
Crazy.
looks 95% the same.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I have a few screenshots. And thanks again for
yeah,
sharing some of these exclusive images that I'll show you
yeah,
guys, everybody
sure.
watching. Thanks for sharing that with me to share with others. But you got to watch the documentary, okay? The stills are not going to do it justice. You guys got to watch that documentary. I'm sure you're going to love it. I loved it. So, but what was it
Thank
about
you.
the big boss that you were like, we got to do a documentary? Let's do it. Like, what is it about that movie that you just gravitate toward? You wanted to do this project.
For me, I wanted to do all of them. I wanted to do Big Boss, Fist of Fury, and Way the Dragon. It just it wasn't possible at the time.
Okay.
Because of sadly the word we don't like saying, the COVID situation. And Thailand was the first place that opened up. So the first one I started with was going to Thailand, Pak Chong, to start filming the Big Boss one. But I'm a massive Bruce Lee fan. I love all of his films.
That's right.
Equally as much. There you go.
Did you know Bruce Lee was a DJ? Did you know that?
There you go. I do now.
But yeah, go ahead.
So yeah, no, I mean, it's just Big Boss, absolutely fabulous. One good thing about the Big Boss is, I would say, out of all the Bruce Lee movies, it's the one where the locations have stayed the same the most. The more scenes from the film have stayed the same. So therefore, it was a really good one to do. I could show the viewers a lot more locations, such as the river, the temple, and places like that. So
yeah. It's a phenomenal documentary. Congratulations on it. But before we get into it, though, let's talk a little bit about the Big Boss, because I'm going to be honest. The first time I saw the Big Boss way back in the day, I was a lot thinner, younger. It wasn't so great. Back in the day, I had the old like Fox VHS collection.
Yeah. Yes.
I may still actually have that somewhere.
Yeah.
And that was my introduction, besides watching, Bruce Lee movies on TV. And I really enjoyed the Big Boss. I always found it entertaining. I always liked it. But for some strange reason, it was like my least watched movie out of all four. And what's crazy is, over the years, I've been watching Big Boss more, especially recently now. Like, I rewatched it before I watched your documentary, and I'm like, I love this movie now. Like, I love, like, I always appreciate it more and more and more more I watch it. But now I can officially say, I love this movie now, and I'm going to say it. It may be controversial. I don't give a fuck. It's my channel. Yeah. Oh, you can curse, by the way, Matt. You can have fun here. All right. I'm going to say it. I feel everyone loves Bruce Lee. Everyone loves this movie, but I feel this movie is the most underrated Bruce Lee movie. I said it right here.
Yeah, it's extremely underrated. Well, Brandon Bentley will agree with you, because we've talked a few times, and he loves The Big Boss. It's his favorite film of all the Bruce Lee
Shout
films.
out to Brendan.
Absolutely. For me, I totally agree with you. It grows on you, that film. It's The others have an immediate impact because there's so many fight scenes. Fist of Fury is just non-stop fighting all the way through. You
Yeah.
know, Enter the Dragon, very strong on fight scenes. Same as Way of the Dragon. But Big Boss only starts fighting halfway through the film. So it doesn't pack as many fights into the film
Yeah.
as the other movies. But yeah, there's something about it. There's a natural, raw energy about the
Yeah.
film. I can't quite place it, but everyone loves it just as much as the other
Yeah.
ones, I'm sure.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and I totally agree with what you say. I found myself watching it much more the
Yeah, because
more the years go on.
Because Game of Death, for good and bad reasons, Game of Death gets
Yeah.
talked about more. You know, you have the iconic tracksuit. You know,
Yeah.
there's fans for Game of Death, and there's people that are like, for Game of Death, but
Yeah.
people don't talk about Big Boss that much. Big Boss is fucking phenomenal. That's right.
Yeah.
You can quote me on
Yeah.
that, Matt.
Yeah.
The next poster. I'm sure that'll. Yeah. I'm sure that'll go over well with everyone. Yeah. But
It'll
yeah,
get
it
people
is
to watch
phenomenal. Hey, steal the quote. I don't care. Use it. But yeah, it is. I love this movie now, especially later. You even get a little bit of the horror element in there.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
with what happens to the family. They even kill the kid. They didn't even give a fuck. They killed the kid, and Bruce Lee's acting there. The horror, right? And you know, they chopped up his family members' bodies and put it in ice. That whole sequence with the red light and Bruce Lee fighting for his characters, fighting for his life, and that, dude, you don't really get that kind of sense of danger in Bruce Lee's other movies, really.
Yeah. No.
You know,
no,
so
and
good.
also it's great, and also the way the character goes through the film, because obviously it starts and everything's all happy. There's no problems. He's introduced to this new village, new friends, new workplace,
right.
And then everything just starts going horribly wrong. You know, the foreman picks on him. He manages to stay friends with all his co-workers. Then the co-workers turn against him because the way they don't feel he's doing enough to find the friends that they lost, and forgetting about them. So it's got so many pivot points in the film, and really good ones that intrigue the viewer and keep you watching. Of course, it's got the Bruce Lee trademark, amazing fight scenes, but it's got obviously so much more to it as well. You do feel very connected.
Yes. And one of my buddies, a filmmaker, Matt Merritt from Keep Forward Productions, he loves Big Boss over some of the others. Great. I think Way of the Dragon's his favorite, but Big Boss is like his second favorite. And we were talking about it the other day, and he was mentioning how in only this movie Bruce Lee uses his environment with some of the fights. He grabs and uses stuff around him. You know, even with the bag of crisps. Came in as a distraction. He threw it at them.
He did.
You know, and you don't really see that in all his other fights. They're pretty straightforward. You know, they're entertaining. They're great. I mean, I love Fist of Fury, but it's interesting. You know.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I agree with you. And obviously, we don't want to mention the saw in the head, do we? Really? But that whole scene, he's picking up things from everywhere. You're right.
Yeah. That was actually my next question. I was gonna there is no. I just want you to double confirm it for everyone watching, because people keep asking me. I'm like, my guest Matt is coming on the show, right? So the saw in the head scene, does that video for that scene exist?
Well, I believe it doesn't, but many people thought that a lot of the scenes in the Mandarin cut maybe don't exist anymore, and then they suddenly appeared. But I think the reason why I think the saw in the head's not going to appear is based on a lot of research I've done and other people have done. I would say that it was the test screening in Hong Kong might have been the only time that will have been seen. And people can criticize me, but I think people have had a hazy recollection from the 70s. If they say they saw it in the 70s, particularly in the late 70s, there's people who've said they've seen it, and I don't personally believe that that's possible, because it would have stayed maybe in the Mandarin cut, you know, because that's the most extended version that people have seen, and now we've all seen it thanks to Arrow finding it and releasing it. You know, hats off to them. But yeah, sadly, I would love to see it. Don't get me wrong. Please prove me wrong. Please come out and tell me you've got it somewhere, someone in the closet, under
show
the
it.
floorboard.
How about you just show it?
Yeah, you know.
Well, there you go, guys.
Sadly, I don't think it'll see the light of day.
There you go. Double confirmed right here on the channel from Matt. Yeah. No, I had to ask, you know, I had a feeling. And if Matt can't, you know, Matt is great at research. And if he can't find anything, it most likely it probably doesn't exist, at least anymore. So thank you for clarifying that. But yeah, let's just jump into the documentary here. And man, right off the bat, I mean, so many iconic locations from the film. Yes. I love your sport. Is that the Batman shirt you got on there?
It was at the time. Yeah, I think Bruce was in laundry on that day. So my Bruce Lee shirt.
Hey, it's all good. We love Batman here. Yeah, this is the actual hotel. I mean, this is so good. But like you were saying, a lot of the locations still look the same. Yeah, you know. And here's the iconic classic river that was used in the film. You got Bruce Lee's character sitting there, and look at it today. You know, it just looks the same. You know, it's very. I mean, were you giddy? Were you just like a kid in a candy store, especially when you got to the Rock, and you're like, holy shit, the Rock's still there! Oh my god.
I know, the Rock's incredible, isn't it? I mean, the inscriptions you can see on it as well have stayed the same. It's like all of those years and it stayed the same. The only difference is obviously, as I explained in the documentary, the trees have got bigger, which is natural over that course of time. But just for the Bruce Lee fans who decide to go on a pilgrimage, maybe go to Thailand, that what you see in the documentary, you will see there at the moment. If you go now, you know, it's all there, and it's all within few hundred yards. A lot of the locations are near each other, so they're all very doable. You know, you could walk from one to the next and that's what's amazing about it. You know, other films, a lot of it might be in a TV studio or something like that, so you can't. They're obviously not still there. They get taken down for the next film. But Thailand, Big Boss, you will see the locations that were in the film. Yeah.
I mean, just such an iconic setting, location, movie. You know, and I've never even seen a lot of the images that are in the documentary. I've never seen before. I've never seen this shot right here. So this is people in the background like, ooh, they're filming a movie. Let's see what's going on there.
All those potential people that we could be trying to find to get interviews with as well, you know, because we were trying to find people. We were very lucky to get the person that did the catering. You know, on the documentary, you'll see we got someone who was providing catering for the film for like 2 to 3 weeks. When they were at the Ice Factory filming. So this is the type of thing I wanted to do. I wanted to get stories of the local people. You know, to what was it like while Bruce Lee was there. And what was interesting was one of the ladies on the documentary was watching the Kato show. So she knew Bruce Lee before he was there. So a lot of people were probably thinking, oh, maybe the local people didn't know who Bruce Lee was. I'm sure there was quite a lot of people who knew who he was, and word was getting around that he was there. Consequently, look at how many people were watching each scene being filmed.
And it was on. I mean, she said she was watching it on TV there in Thailand. They were getting the Kato show in Thailand. I mean, how cool is that?
Incredible. And it was obviously the Asian version that had obviously been transmitted from Hong Kong, and it's dubbed maybe into Thai. I would only hazard a guess. So they would absolutely incredible stuff.
John in the house, certified channel badass member. What's up, John? Saying hello. There you go. Good to see you,
Hi, John.
But like this, even the Ice Factory is still around and still working. It's so crazy, man.
I know. I mean, I saw it obviously in John Little's documentary many years ago, that he'd managed to find, and it was still there. And then I'd been watching other people's YouTube videos that it was still there even 5 years ago, 3 years ago.
Yeah.
So yeah, obviously I went there, spoke to the owner, who sadly declined to be interviewed this time round, but was, gave me permission to film at the actual factory itself. And as explained in the documentary, I was there very early in the morning. I had to do it when they were actually going through the process of getting the ice made and ready for distribution.
Yeah.
So just
it's
incredible.
It's really interesting. Yeah.
And you see in the movie, someone pushes the ice block across the floor, and they're still pushing the ice block across the floor today. You can't write that stuff.
Yeah. Well, we don't know, Jed. We're not going to say anything. We don't know what's going on over there.
Yeah.
Nice one, Jed. Nice one. Yeah, but that was great, man.
Yeah.
That was great that you were there. And what an iconic sight there, man, for the fight that goes down. That was such an important scene.
Yes.
I'm sure the audience back then, when they saw the movie in theater, they probably erupted. When he finally erupted and started to finally thrash back, I'm sure they were like going crazy back then.
Absolutely.
And we still go crazy now, We
do. I mean, that's what's great about this new box set, and the timing is perfect. The 50th, obviously the 50th anniversary, sadly, of his passing, but also the 50th anniversary of Enter the Dragon opening in theaters around the world, which is just a truly, as far as martial arts films are concerned, you can't get any more iconic than that. That it's people always class it as pretty much the pinnacle of martial arts cinema. And me personally, I still believe that that's true. I think it is. So it's the perfect year to celebrate more Bruce Lee.
Oh yeah. And the more the merrier.
Yes,
we'll take more.
Absolutely.
Yeah. But I saw Into the Dragon, and they actually released it out here for like a limited time, and we went to go see it, and it was so much fun. Everybody was saying the lines in the theater, like everybody was just having a blast watching it. The iconic lines.
It's incredible,
man. You come right out of a comic book. I'll be too busy looking good.
Well, that's the thing you see about that film is, and everybody talks about Bruce Lee, and rightly so, but everyone in that film, Jim Kelly, John Saxon,
killed it.
Anna Capri absolutely knocked it out of the park. Like, everyone's performance in that film is just terrific, and that is the binding for that film. It all contributed, and also obviously Bruce, a phenomenal powerhouse performance all the way through.
Bolo got Bolo bonus.
Bolo, Bolo introduced to the West, I think, pretty much for the first time in that film, and so many memorable characters. That's what it's about, in this day and age, with all the CGI and all special effects, and it takes a film like that with none of that.
That's right.
And just great characters, great acting, great action. That's what made a great film, and people are still going to theaters to watch it 50 years later.
I watched a video, and they were saying that the movie was so successful for its time that if you adjust it for inflation for today, it'd be $1 billion movie today.
Yeah, incredible.
If it came out today, like, it's insane. It's insane, and well deserved. But definitely. This is really cool. We're going to keep this going here. Show more then and now. Iconic shots.
That was great. Obviously, that's the entrance to the ice factory. This is the bit along the side of the ice factory where the workers were continuing the fight. And the little place you can see in the picture down below is obviously where the foreman's house used to be. The boss, the owner of the factory.
Let's talk about him. Again, me and Matt were discussing this the other day. I think the villain in this movie is one of the most underrated villains in Kung Fu movies, man. I mean, this guy, he was so arrogant, that smile. When his women, were his ladies of the night, were not doing what he wanted, he would just spit his little, cigarette ash on them. And then, carrying around that bird. Just, he was like one of the best villains. He's a very underrated villain. And I
Yeah.
love their fight at the end. And we're going to get to their fight at the end a little bit more. But I love their fight at the
Yes.
end because he pulled out the daggers. Because the best villains got to cheat. They got to cheat somehow, you know.
Always.
But I love
Yeah.
this guy, man. He's great. He's
Yeah,
great.
it was fantastic because he doesn't look like what you would expect to be, you know, a physically imposing villain because you see him with the glasses.
Yeah.
He looks like more like, you know, not someone who's like a physical athlete, but they show him doing his fights and he looks good in the fights. And like you say, just a horrible character, the way he keeps the facial expressions on his face.
Yeah.
And, you know, you've remembered it, you know, from all these years, and he's great for the movie. I think he's a great villain.
Oh yeah. But here's another still here.
Yeah.
I've never seen this shot here. This is pretty cool.
Yes.
I did not know Bruce got hurt there. You want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, the accident with the glass. Well, it's kind of interesting. Obviously, it was something that happened to him during the making of the film. And what was interesting for me is he still has the bandage, doesn't he, on his finger? And obviously, some scenes in the film he's got the bandage, some he hasn't. So you know, you can see which scenes were filmed before it and after the incident. But what I find interesting about the cut on his finger is it's quite an iconic thing for the character to have, him having that, you know, bandage on his finger.
Yeah.
So even when you see maybe figures of him in Big Boss, I think they should include it on the figures, you know,
that would be
it's
great.
so much part of the movie. And you know, it's still a talking point for us now, you know, and it's who'd have thought something as let's say as small as that, and we're still talking about it. So
I had no idea. I thought that was just as part of his character when he I didn't know he hurt he cut himself. But speaking of injuries, you want to tell everybody watching what was going on here?
Okay, so in those days they didn't have proper stunt pads and crash mats and things like that, so they were using old mattresses, you know, to do the obviously to do the fight scenes, to do the falls and things like that. So that one, I think most Bruce Lee fans will know what that one is. I could have obviously a good guess. It's for the bit with where he's fighting the guys and he pulls out the two knives. So yeah, there's you know, it's interesting to see. I don't think primitive is the right word, but they obviously didn't have the facilities and stunt equipment we have today, and had to make do with what was available to them at the time, which was mattresses.
And Bruce Lee was concerned, right, with the safety. Like he was just like, man, these guys aren't really safe out here. It's pretty wild.
Well, that was it, and I think obviously he was also concerned. He wanted the fights to be amazing. You know, he wanted to keep them on the ground, and I think Lorway was trying to make them more acrobatic, jumping around more, and Bruce was obviously having little battles on the inside with him, wanting to make the fights more realistic as possible.
The trampoline jumping, stuff like that.
I think they had a bit of conflict on the bit where at the ice factory where Bruce is doing the night fight scene where he knocks the guy through the wood and you see the imprint, which you've got the picture there already. So yeah, I think he didn't want to do that. Bruce really didn't want to do that bit. And but you know what? I accept it now when I watch it. I think it always gets a bit of a laugh from the audience, doesn't it? If you watch it in a cinema.
What was it? It's fun. It's fun when you watch it. It's fun. I mean, obviously, I don't think they were being. I don't think he was being serious. I think no. I mean, I don't think they were being serious back then. I want to know how the audience felt back then. Did the audience crack up? They were like, "Oh, that was amazing."
Did they laughed
at it. I wonder. You know?
And I think because the arms are outstretched, that's what makes it funnier. Because it's like someone's vision on, how should we carve this out to make it look like he's gone through? Oh, we have to have the arms fully outstretched so it shows, you know, it can't be like this or like this. You know?
It was supposed to be there for just for a hoot, just for fun. I believe. But the shot where was that also a low way thing where in Fist of Fury Bruce Lee picks up the two guys and he's obviously has dummies. He's got dummies that he's throwing around in Fist of Fury. Is that a low way thing too?
I think it could well be. I mean, it was trying to show the strength of Bruce's character, but I think when people watch the film, we like the actual fight scene more, whereas that looks obviously. It's the way Bruce is holding them. It doesn't look quite right. But it looks of its time for a Golden Harvest production, because you'd see that. You'd see things like that in some of the other Golden Harvest movies. But I think Bruce would have been more responsible for all the on the ground choreography. For the films.
For sure. Here's another Then and Now.
Hard to recognize on that one. That was genuinely where that scene was shot. Unfortunately, it's this of all the ones I've had to film, I'd say this one really doesn't look too similar to what it did, but it was important to show to the viewers that that was the area that was filmed.
Yeah. And here the sign also.
Oh my God. Sign's incredible, isn't it? Yeah. Survived after all these years with those cables all wrapped around it, and it's still absolutely. That was one of my favorite bits I saw, because obviously that determines where the brothel is in the scene. And it's just great to see that one when I was driving the streets. Yes, of course, this one, with the James Tien fight scene as well on the screenshot below, and then the bit where Bruce goes to the brothel back in the nighttime. There we can see the sign again.
That's pretty awesome, man. That's
brilliant. Awesome, thank you.
Brilliant. Yes.
Thank you.
And here we got some more iconic shots here.
I'd like to obviously point out that the Nora scene was obviously more of a theory of where we think it was shot. It's quite hard to determine where it is, but obviously the palm trees are quite a strong indicator of where it is. And
the James Tien fight right there.
Yes, on the road.
So I have a question. What is your honest thoughts on James Tien?
James Tien, well, for me, I've watched so many films with him in, because obviously he's in numerous he's in Jackie Chan movies, Magnificent Bodyguards. He was in so many of Bruce's movies. I mean, he was in all of them, wasn't he? I think, apart from Enter the Dragon. But at the time, he's more become iconic because of the fact that he was in the Bruce movies, obviously. And then people saw him in numerous other Golden Harvest productions. He was even in the 80s. He's in Winners and Sinners with Jackie Chan.
Yeah, he's great.
He's in Gambling Ghost with Sammo Hung. You know, from the late 80s, which was a great fun movie.
He played great villains.
Brilliant. I think he's a great actor, and obviously Bruce did, because Bruce was keeping him in all the movies. So
I feel sorry for him a little bit, I feel like he gets kind of a bad rap. Like, he's just bitter because Bruce Lee took his spot and he said all this bad stuff, which may have happened. I don't know the guy. I don't know, but people always it's almost, for some people, not everyone. Some people kind of look at him as kind of a failure, not really a leading man, and I don't know, man. I kind of look at it like, if you're casted as a lead villain or a heavy for a movie, that's almost as good as being the star of the film. In my opinion.
I loved him. Loved him. I thought he's great. I think you see, the thing is, with obviously when you watch films, even the supplementary actors, the supporting actors to films, are so important. And he will be remembered for so many of these films, as well as Bruce Lee. Because he puts in great performances. And about the dispute that obviously people are talking about, where James Tien might have had a bit of maybe a dispute with Bruce. It's not clear whether obviously that happened, but I would imagine it might have happened because Bruce was replacing him. If someone's trying to replace you, it's natural human instinct. You're not going to be you know, you're not
Like,
going
what
to
the
be
hell is
happy.
this? Yeah, anybody would
Yeah.
react that way. Yeah.
So I think they must have patched it up. They must have been fine with each other
Right.
because James Tien is on all the films, including Game of Death, which was obviously
Right.
one of the last productions Bruce was
I
doing with
guess Way
Golden
of the
Heart.
Dragon was the only one he wasn't in, I think.
Yes, Way of the
Yeah.
Dragon. Yeah,
But still, all
yeah,
the others, he was there. You
yeah,
know.
yeah,
But
yeah.
yeah, I mean, I
So
don't know. I think
yeah,
we should put some respect on James Tien's name there.
yeah,
And what's funny, the reason why I'm bringing this
definitely.
up is there's a list that just dropped recent list of like the 12 best, martial arts movie villains.
Yeah.
And James Tien was 12,
Oh
number
my
12. I
gosh.
couldn't believe it. I was
Yes,
like,
madam.
wow, I
Wow.
couldn't believe it. Like he's finally getting some respect, I think.
Respect. Yeah, no,
Yeah, yeah,
he's very, very famous from
yeah,
all of the movies he's done. He's even got a bit of a cameo in Dragons Forever at the start of the movie,
yeah,
you know?
yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah,
Heart of Dragon. He was a great villain in that. He was
yeah,
funny in that. He was actually the comedy
yeah,
too.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So yeah,
Fabulous, fabulous. They're always going to be remembered. So
yeah, yeah. I like
yeah,
James.
yeah.
But this, I was like, you had me busting up right here. I was like, look at Matt walking around with the bag of crisps. Look at the brother here walking. You know what? I'd be doing the same damn thing. If I was there, right there where you were at, Matt, I'd be having the bag
Yeah.
of some crisps.
Do you
That's
know
right.
what? I couldn't find a paper bag when I was trying to film that scene. That's the truth. That's the truth. I should have
Where'd you get
packed it.
one?
I got one from one of the shops nearby.
Oh,
I was just
nice.
lucky they had one. And do you know what I think's funny? The dispute on, is it crisps? Is it banana chips? Is it prawn crackers?
Does it matter?
I tell you why, because you hear the
Yeah.
noise, and the noise
Okay.
makes it sound like it's something else when he crunches it. But then when Bruce holds it, you can see in the close up, it very much looks like a banana chip.
Yeah.
It
yeah.
just, and then you see it in the new Mandarin cut, and when he
Right.
picks it up in the actual brothel, it looks more like a prawn cracker or something. So
Ah.
it's that the myth will go on, you know. It will
The
go
debate
on.
will never end.
Yeah.
Chips or crisps? What is it? Well,
Right.
anyway, yeah, I enjoyed this. When I was
Yeah.
like, Matt's doing it right. He's doing it
Yeah.
right. But yeah, the lair, the location
Yeah.
of the big boss, man, it was so cool
Mm.
seeing that. And if you guys watch the documentary, you're gonna see
Yeah.
inside of the house, underneath the
Yeah.
the basement and all this cool stuff.
Yes.
You're gonna see
Yeah.
inside. But yeah, so there were really dogs still around.
Yeah, dogs everywhere. When I got there, I was kind of like, I didn't know what to do because they seemed quite vicious as
Oh
well.
my God.
So I felt just like Bruce, when he got cornered. When he got cornered by the dogs. So I had to quickly think on my feet, get
And
some
you
beef
you
jerky.
jumped really high over them, right?
Well, there you go. You see, I needed my trampoline, didn't I?
So the beef jerky worked.
It worked. It worked. I just threw it on the floor, and they were all distracted, enabled me to get in. And once I was in, they were okay around me. They were kind of moving around.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was that was very, very surreal.
Well, you're a legend that you got it to work. You put down that
Yeah.
some beef jerky. That's right. Snap it to a
Yeah.
Slim Jim. It worked. Boom.
Yeah.
But yeah, it still must have been, besides the danger of that, it
Yeah.
still must have been really cool to be there, man.
Definitely. It
I mean,
was.
this is
Yeah.
amazing. And what a
Thanks.
location. What a perfect
Mhm.
location for this rich asshole who
Yeah.
does with the most spoiled son ever. Oh, I was so
Yeah.
happy when his son got killed. It was so great.
Oh,
So
it's
good.
great.
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
It's,
Dad.
yeah.
Dad. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Kill this guy,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah. Exactly. No. Yeah. 100%. So
Again, memorable villains make a
yeah.
great film.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely. Well, particularly in that case, and like you say, it was interesting that his son gets killed, which gives him, can give him a impetus to be even more angry. I think
Yeah.
we got
It's all good.
someone here doing a delivery.
All right. Yeah. If you
So
want to go get it, go ahead and get it. I'll talk to
I'm-
the
I think
audience.
someone's there already, so we're
Okay, all
okay.
right, yeah,
So there you go.
keep
Pizza
it
delivery.
moving. Yeah, pizza delivery. There you go.
Yeah.
But why were the dogs there? They were just guarding the, like, whose dogs were there?
Well, I think they were part of the temple. I'm not sure because the
Oh,
monks are still there.
oh,
So the monks are still obviously in the temple,
okay.
and they obviously it's still a working temple. So when I went, obviously I had to show my respects to the monk, do
Right.
a bit of a donation to them, and they were very kind and very friendly and obviously very helpful. But getting to the downstairs is not something that they let everybody do. So I was very honored and privileged that we could
Wow.
document the downstairs part as well. Yeah,
How cool is that?
yeah,
And
it was
it was
great.
awesome that you could still see the holes
Mm,
in the wall where they put
yeah,
the animal heads on from the movie.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that
And
was
they're still
awesome.
there. They're still there after all these years. The marks on the wall.
Crazy,
So yeah,
crazy. And look at this.
yeah,
Look at that right there.
yeah.
Look at
Look
this,
at that.
guys. This is amazing. Look at
Wow.
that,
Yeah,
man.
yeah,
It still looks the
yeah.
same.
Same. Incredible. Yeah, yeah,
Insane. Insane.
mm,
Yeah.
yeah,
You got all the Thai
yeah.
stuntmen down there.
That's
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wish we could have got one to do an interview, but sadly,
They've all
obviously,
passed.
a
Yeah.
lot of them have passed, and maybe quite hard to get in touch with whoever
Right.
else was in the film. So
Right.
yeah, we tried. We tried.
But look at that shot. Look at that shot up at the
Yeah.
top. If you look way in the back, you
Wow.
see the villain just there
Mm,
chilling, holding his bird. I mean,
yeah.
this is amazing, man.
Amazing. Yeah, yeah. It's great. People should
Oh,
go. I recommend anyone to go to Thailand to see the locations. They'll have a
yeah.
great time.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Again, I've never
Yeah.
seen this still before. This is a great,
Yeah. Very rare still of him doing one of the flying kicks on the lawn
yeah, doing
at
his
Wat
thing.
Siri Sampan. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
That's great.
That's what's up. And now we're getting to the finale, the final showdown, baby. Look at that. Look at
Yeah.
that.
I know. Wow. There it is. Yeah, the Mondup's still there in the back. And obviously the pool didn't have any water. Well, say the pool, obviously you can see the
Yeah.
bit in the ground doesn't have any water these days, but there it is. It's all still there. I guess they didn't have Toyota back in the 70s, but that's popped up at the top right there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
We have a question here for you, John. Mr.
Yeah.
Rutledge. Thanks again, John, for the super chat. If you have had the chance to produce / direct Kiss of the Dragon with Jet Li, what would you have changed about the main plot?
Well, that's a very good question. A great film, by the way. I
Yeah.
love the movie,
Yeah.
Kiss of the Dragon. Um, what would I have done with the main plot? I think
Was there anything
just want to
about it you would
recall.
have that you were like, they should have did something different, or you would have taken it out or changed something?
I
Maybe.
think I think I would have given. Obviously, I would have given Jet more fight scenes. I think I would have given him more fights in
There
the
you go.
film. I mean, there is a lot of fights in the movie. I always remember the scene in the I'll call it the police dojo at the
Right.
end, and
Yeah.
obviously the scene in actual police HQ was a great scene. But for me, I thought it was a very good film. I thought it flowed very, very well.
Yeah. Yeah.
I thought Jet Li put in a great performance. I thought his English was good.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, his English is great in a lot of films,
Yeah.
even in Lethal Weapon 4.
Oh,
When
yeah.
it was
Yeah.
his first film speaking
Yeah.
English, I thought he was
Yeah.
incredible. But in terms of plot, to be honest, I thought for me, I thought it was great.
Yeah. More
Um,
fights. I think you nailed it,
More
though. More
fights,
fights. Yeah.
maybe more fights.
A
So
couple of
yeah,
bonus
thank you for
fights.
the question. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And the 2-on-1 fight at the end was great too.
Oh, it's
That was amazing.
fabulous. Yeah,
That
very
was amazing.
gritty, great soundtrack.
Yeah.
Yeah, I loved it.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. But this is why me and Matt are fans of old school classic kung fu martial arts movies, because look at this. Look at this.
Yeah,
Two
yeah,
guys fighting to
yeah,
the death out in the middle of
mm,
nowhere.
yeah,
It could
exactly.
be up in the mountains where the mist is there. Could be
Yeah,
anywhere. Just two dudes, two masters, having it out. Like at the end of end of one of my favorites, Prodigal Son. Look at the
yeah.
end fight in Prodigal Son. Two dudes meeting somewhere. Let's do this.
That's how it happens. That's
Oh,
what it happened in Kung Fu Movie Land,
yes. It's
for all
amazing.
these years. Yeah.
Yeah.
They
It
meet on the
never
top
gets
of a
old.
hill. Yeah,
Yes. It never gets old. It never gets old. Never gets old. Oh my goodness. And
yeah.
here's the last one here. Another amazing
Oh
shot. Look
yeah.
at that.
Oh yeah.
Looks
That's
the
really
same. Look at that. That is
incredible.
crazy, man. Like Bruce getting in his stance here. But yeah, I love this fight because you got a character you hate versus a character you've grown to love over the course of the film. And I love the fight, not just because it's a great fight, but I love the fight because you can see it right here. You can see it unfold, kind of almost the passing of the guard or the passing of the torch with old school traditional fight choreography evolving with the new school right there, guys, in the same fight. And it's an amazing fight, old school versus new school, but it works.
Is. And it
you
works.
Can see the evolution. You can see it right there. I don't think a lot of people, when they talk about this fight, I don't think they mention that.
No. And it was a pivotal year. It was a pivotal year because it was 1971. A lot of the films preceding that were Shaw Brothers movies from the 60s, such as One-Armed Swordsman, you know. And I think Bruce was introducing this new style. And like you said, you make a very valid point that it was like almost like a fusion of the two styles, you know, and it was almost like something new was coming out, something new was coming through, and that was Bruce Lee. And, you know, from the years after Bruce Lee, you've got Sammo changing things, because I think, you know, some of Sammo's movies were fast-paced action, such as obviously in Warriors 2, Prodigal Son. So you could see how it evolved from the 60s era to the 70s Bruce Lee to obviously Sammo and Jackie, with the faster paced fight scenes and the crazy stunts of the 80s. You know, it's very interesting to see how Kung Fu movies have evolved.
Yeah, it's fascinating, fun, and it's just endless entertainment. That's why the 80s is the golden era, you know.
It
is.
The
70s, there's so much good stuff in the 70s too.
Fabulous.
But yeah, I love it. It's the passing of the torch. It's so good to see two styles clash that way. I think we had another question here from Colin says, is there any other iconic films you would like to do a location documentary for?
It's a very good question. Obviously, I'd love to have done Way of the Dragon in Italy. I think that would be great. I don't know if that's still possible. I'll have to see. I have to get on my research for that one.
Yeah.
But yeah, locations. Gosh, I'd have to have a think, because you're trying to go through my head in terms of which ones were shot in a studio and which ones weren't.
That's a good question.
Because obviously a lot of them were filmed in the studios, particularly the Shaw Brothers, ones. But you know, maybe Drunken Master, Snake in the Eagle's Shadow, ones like that, because for me they were super iconic 70s.
Let's go.
Martial arts, old school kung fu films. Those I would say they'd be two good ones for me.
What about the factory finale in Dragons Forever when Benedict versus Jackie?
Yeah, exactly. I don't want to break down the local drug factory, you know, to try and find that one. But they did some crazy stunts. They basically turned it into this mini stunt academy, really, didn't they, for the whole of that film? It just had so many incredible jaw-dropping stunts.
Oh, here we go.
Well, martial arts.
Police Story locations, maybe.
Yeah, Police Story would be great. That's a very good suggestion. Yeah, but definitely, because
I feel that the big boss to return to Thailand is just the beginning, baby.
It could be good. Yeah. I went to the mall when I was in Hong Kong where Jackie did the stunt.
Oh shit!
That's still there. Would you believe that mall in the 80s was, I think, a brand new, or one of the newest malls in Hong Kong, and obviously now it's not. It's been replaced by newer malls in the area, so it's actually not as many people go there, but it's still there. It's still there, and it's not far from the Bruce Lee statue, which is obviously near the Walk of Stars on Hong Kong Pier. So Jackie Chan fans, that one's still there. Yeah, you just need to do research. You can find it. But that's a great suggestion. Thanks, Jet.
Yeah. That's awesome. Yeah, that's awesome. So, yeah, man, I know you're crazy busy out there. You got a wedding to get ready for. But thanks again for taking some time, man, out of your busy schedule to hang out with Samurai Guy on the Movie Dojo, baby. having a blast. And don't forget, everybody watching, hey, y'all know what you need to do. If you want to watch this documentary, you got to get that Bruce Lee box set, the 4K or Blu-ray. I'm laughing because, you know, it might be a little hard to get at the moment, but I'm sure they'll restock. You can get some more.
Yes.
But,
or hopefully maybe in the future it'll come out in the USA and Canada. You know, there'll be a way we can get it out to that market. So,
or get an all-region Blu-ray player.
or do that. Absolutely. Yeah.
It's well worth it. Believe me. Trust me. It's well worth it. Matt, before we wrap it up, brother, is anything you'd like to say to your fans and your friends, followers?
Just like to thanks so much for the support as always. I hope people enjoy Return to Thailand when they get a chance to see it and see obviously the hard work that I've put into it and other people. Just thank you for the support. Keep watching those great Kung Fu movies, and hopefully I'll have more projects in the near future for everyone to watch.
Oh yeah, because we're gonna be there, Matt. We're gonna be there, brother, because we support you over here.
Thank you so much, Preston.
Yeah, man.
Appreciate it. Yeah.
Matt, don't go anywhere, but all you badasses, hey, y'all know what you need to do. Check in the description box below. That's right. Click on the Urban Action Showcase and Experience link. Buy some Bruce Lee jackets. Keep celebrating some Bruce Lee. Check out the link. There's a lot of cool stuff. It's a cool festival coming up. That's right. So make sure you check that out. And follow
Urban
Matt.
Action.
Yes, Urban Action. Son, look, he's got the wristband, son, representing already. Look at that. But don't forget to follow Matt. Yeah, follow him on Instagram. Links there below. That's right. Continue to follow this man on his filmmaking journey. That's right. And if you're new here and you enjoyed yourself, hey, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the Old Samurai Guy. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Don't go anywhere, Matt. But I'll see you guys on the next one.
Thanks,
Take care.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for the support.
Keep kicking. Keep watching Kung Fu movies, baby. Let's go.